Today, those assembled in the House were invited to join Prime Minister Dean Barrow on his train bound for glory, to borrow his words. But before jumping on the train, and with teachers hurling fire and fury outside the House, the Prime Minister made immediate mention of the wondrous management skills which has allowed government to raise salaries, the sign of a year of wonders.
Truly, 2014 is a sort of annus mirabilis, a year of miracles under this United Democratic Party government. Unfortunately, notwithstanding government's extraordinary munificence, there seems to be in some quarters ingratitude sharper than a serpent's tooth. But we will not allow that to rain on our grand raise of pay parade.
With that out the way, the Prime Minister turned to the expected economic environment in 2014.
With the global and national setbacks of 2013 behind us, the outlook for 2014 is one of promise. The central bank is projecting a GDP growth of 2% in 2014 as the primary sector returns to positive output, construction and tourism hold steady, and the government's capital spending program expands. Grain production should see a considerable rebound during the year, and output of the major export crops is also anticipated to rise. Improved acreage practices in the sugarcane industry should increase sugar production, and already, early in this crop, the factory has set a one-day record for the amount of cane processed. Citrus output is also expected to bounce back as further progress, including by way of additional government/Baja investment, is made in the containment of citrus screening. Moderate increases are projected for output of shrimp and whole fish, both of which did well last year. The tertiary sector will continue to be the main driver of growth in 2014, with stayover visitors projected to spike at a similar pace as in 2013. This is on the back of the stronger performances of Belize's main source markets and sustained promotional efforts on the part of the Belize Tourism Board. Sectoral activity will also be boosted by the continued growth in government's capital spending, as several large projects to improve road infrastructure and sporting facilities are rolled out. On the downside, the secondary sector is likely to contract, particularly because the fall in petroleum extraction will continue its slide.
The PM says it is expected that oil prices should stay down, keeping cost of living down with it. With the economic outlook out the way, the Prime Minister turned to the priorities of any budget: education, healthcare, and infrastructure.
In this budget, we are embarking on a stepped-up effort to expand and upgrade the road network throughout Belize, using funds secured from our economic cooperation partners and from the major multilateral development institutions. We will also give high priority to the rehabilitation and concreting of streets and drains in all the main towns and villages, using funding from the Petro-Caribe facility. And we will as well provide resources for the upgrading of feeder roads countrywide. This last should help to, among other things, lower the costs of transporting our agricultural products to the processing facilities and ultimately to market destinations. As we roll out this hugely successful NHI program, moving next to Coruscant, the Ministry of Health will continue to construct a solid foundation of primary care, even as we build our capacity to treat heart disease, kidney disorders, cancers, and trauma. In this budget, we will continue to implement reforms in education financing, and I would ask those on the other side to study this issue and to try to understand, so we don't have to have a repeat of last year, where they completely misconstrued the numbers because the formula and the exercise with respect to the reforms in school financing baffled them. But we will continue to implement reforms in education financing, and we will continue to provide resources for teacher education, curriculum development, and early childhood learning. At the secondary level, we will, as I earlier indicated, earmark funds to assist deserving secondary school students to pay fees for the all-important CXC exams.
Resources have been identified where citizen security is concerned in terms of community transformation programs and capacity enhancement of the security forces. Mike Rodon for News 5.